Hi everybody, Steve the Graveyard Guy here in Marion, Ohio at the Harding Memorial and Presidential Gravesite of the 29th President of the United States, William G. Harding. Over the years, I have met quite a few very nice people in cemeteries, but I'm here on a Tuesday in the middle of the day, and there are only a couple of other cars in the parking lot, so I wasn't really expecting to see anyone else here today, let alone meet anyone here today. But I can pretty much always count on there always being someone with a lawnmower or a weed whacker or a leaf blower to annoy me at every gravesite I visit. The leaf blower that I was complaining about actually unlocked the gate and you guys got to get in.
We did.
Yeah. And so why don't you introduce yourself? You're father and son, right?
I'm Eric.
Yeah.
Although you look more like brother and brother, you look very young.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm Lincoln, and I have my own YouTube channel, and it's called Sonic and Friends. So I was wondering.
Sonic A&D Friends?
Yes.
Sonic and Friends on YouTube.
Yeah, and I was wondering if you guys could go check it out.
Okay, so all of you guys watching, I was just telling them that, you know, my audience tends to be my age, which probably has never heard of Sonic and Friends or Sonic, but I know you all have kids and grandkids, so tell your kids and grandkids to go watch Lincoln's channel so he can get some followers here. And Lincoln's dad is, what's your name?
Eric.
Eric. So now you said you've lived here your whole life, right?
Yep.
And did you say this is the first time you've been here or the first time you got into?
First time that I've actually got to go inside and walk around. I've never been here when there's been a maintenance guy here that's given me the opportunity to say, hey, go and walk around and just don't go on the grass.
That was good timing.
Yeah.
So I was down here.
Unique experience.
Actually, I was waiting for you guys to leave because I didn't want to, photobomb you.
Yeah.
But then I was also waiting for the leaf guy to leave. I didn't realize he was the one with the key, or I would have gone up there with you.
Yeah, we just happened to notice when we were sitting out there that a couple other guys got to walk in there, so we wanted to come see if we could take that tour too. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was,
Never done that before.
I was recording on my channel, so make sure you guys go check that out. The title of the video is probably going to be called, like, Going Inside to the Hardington thing.
Oh, so you did do a video from here?
Yeah,
We did a video walking around inside.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can watch my video, then you can watch Lincoln's video,
Yeah.
or you can watch Lincoln's video first, and I bet his is probably going to be even better than mine. A whole different perspective. Now, how old are you, Lincoln?
How old am I?
Yeah.
I'm 9 years old, and I currently have 6 followers.
6 followers. We want to get that up to at least 100 followers.
Yeah.
So come on, you guys, go over and look at Lincoln's channel, and even if you're too old to watch his channel, see if you got some grandkids who might want to go watch him.
Or at least give me a follow still.
Yeah, give him a follow, give him a thumbs up. So, all right, well, good luck with your channel, Lincoln.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you guys. Nice meeting you, Eric, right?
Yes.
Okay, you guys, thanks for being in my video, and I actually got to meet somebody here in Ohio. You're the first were you born here?
Yeah. Right.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
And if you guys just watch him and you haven't subscribed to him, you better subscribe right now.
You better subscribe right now. All right, thanks, you guys.
Take care.
All right,
Bye.
have a good day. Bye. So that was very unexpected. I'm standing here looking at the plaques here in front of Warren G. Harding's memorial. I was just standing here and this father and son came up to me and the father said, "Are you a YouTuber?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "Do you watch my channel?" And he goes, No, I've never seen your channel, but I saw you filming here and I saw your license plate that you're from California." So I thought that maybe you were a YouTuber. And I said, "Well, you're right, I am a YouTuber." And so I was telling him about my channel, and then his son, Lincoln, said, "Well, I'm a YouTuber too." And he was asking my advice. He's been doing it for about a year or so, and he's trying to get more followers. And so if you know anyone Lincoln's age, check his channel out. Unfortunately, I just did a search for Lincoln's channel on YouTube, and I can't find it. There seem to be about 1 million channels named Sonic and Friends. So Eric and Lincoln, if you happen to see this video, feel free to leave a comment in the comments section letting us know how to find your channel. Or if any of you watching were able to find it, let us know in the comments section as well. And I mentioned that I do quite often meet people in cemeteries, and I have met a couple of other YouTubers in cemeteries, but the thing that surprises me the most is just how many fathers and sons I've met over the years visiting cemeteries together. They're very educational, and you can learn a lot about history in cemeteries, so it doesn't really surprise me that parents are bringing their kids, but it does kind of surprise me that I've never met a mother bringing a daughter to a cemetery. Is this just a bonding experience that for some reason is only shared by fathers and their sons? If so, that seems like kind of a wasted opportunity. There are a lot of very famous women buried in cemeteries too. What do you think? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments section. Harding's tomb is located here on the corner of this very busy intersection of Delaware Avenue and Vernon Heights Boulevard. And on the other side of the street, Vernon Heights Boulevard turns into McKinley Park Boulevard. In the short time that I've been here today, hundreds and hundreds of cars have gone by. So with thousands of cars passing this location daily, this has to be the most viewed presidential gravesite of all the presidential gravesites. I'm sure that the gravesites of Washington and Lincoln, Jefferson, and maybe even Ronald Reagan probably receive more visitors and are more visited, but this one has to be the most viewed with thousands of cars passing right by every single day. So here are a couple of fun facts about President Harding. Apparently he had a gambling problem. Who was the president that I visited the other day who outlawed drinking and dancing and gambling in the White House? I don't think these two presidents would have liked each other. Harding had at least 4 affairs during his time in office, and his administration was plagued with scandal and corruption. He definitely sounded like quite a character. Very different than some of the other presidents that I've already visited. But probably the biggest fun fact that some of you might have already heard, because I think it's just repeated so often, of all the presidents, he reportedly had the biggest feet. He had size 14 feet. So for whatever that's worth, that's one of the main things he's remembered for. And not only did he have big feet, but man, did he have a big mausoleum. Is this a mausoleum? Or I guess it's not really a mausoleum. It's not enclosed. It's just a monument. It's a huge monument. Just enormous, so much larger than I thought, and even larger than his feet. Now, the only thing that really is missing, I think, is his name on the crypt. I don't see his name on the front or on top, unless it's just the way the lighting is. I do see, it looks like maybe his name behind, but it's behind the pillars. Same with his wife. But yeah, I mean, I think it should be on the crypt coverings as well, don't you? The Harding tomb gravesite of Warren and Florence Harding is the centerpiece of a 10-acre design. The tomb sits at the center of the arms of a Latin cross, with the sidewalks and landscape creating the cross. A committee, along with Mrs. Harding, chose the site. When the site was built in 1926, it was located outside of the city of Marion, wrapped on the east and south sides of a cemetery. By a cemetery, the committee attempted to protect the tomb from encroaching development in the future. It's nice that it tells the story of his life and presidency, and I was just wondering about who built this tomb. It says caretakers of the Harding tomb. The state of Ohio has owned both the Harding tomb and the Harding home since 1978, and both properties are managed by the Ohio Historical Society. Since 1990, the Ohio Historical Society has completed 2 major restorations of the tomb. Prior to the state ownership, the properties were owned and operated since 1926 by a private organization, the Harding Memorial Association. The Harding Memorial Association was organized soon after President Harding's death in 1923 to raise funds to build a proper gravesite for President Harding. The HMA was comprised of President Calvin Coolidge, members of the Harding Cabinet, Marion businessmen, and prominent members of Washington, D.C. society. President Harding had requested simple burial under a tree and the open sky, and the Harding Memorial Association was determined to incorporate that request in the tomb design. A sum of $977,821.76 in private money was raised for construction of the tomb. More than 1 million people contributed to the project, with funds coming from across the United States, the Philippines, and Europe. More than 200,000 school children also collected pennies for the fund. From dream to reality. Well, it's not exactly the simple burial that he wanted, but there are trees around and grass and the sky, so in fact, it's kind of the opposite of simple, but it's really beautiful. And I can't imagine that anyone would not approve of this. Harding was born in Blooming Grove, Ohio on November 2nd, 1865, and died in San Francisco, California on August 2nd, 1923, at the relatively young age of 57. He died from a heart attack. Harding was a Republican who died in office. He served from 1921 until his death in 1923, and he was succeeded by his vice president, Calvin Coolidge. So let's walk all the way around and see what it looks like from the other side. I assume it kind of looks the same, but it's a beautiful park and a beautiful day for a walk, so let's go take a walk and see if there's anything on the back side that might be a surprise. You never know. So there is this path here that you can walk on that does go around the tomb. And then I just happened to notice a cemetery over here. I noticed one across the street. I don't know if it's the same one just separated by the street or if it's a different one. It's very peaceful in spite of being on a very busy street or at a very busy intersection. It's still quiet and peaceful, and this really is a beautiful park. I am surprised there aren't more people here having lunch or hanging out in the park, but it is a Tuesday midday. And I see there are floodlights everywhere, so this must be lit up beautifully at night. I think one of the nice things about this, maybe a side benefit, is that it is so overpoweringly impressive and grandiose and just spectacular that if you're driving by, you almost have to stop. You almost have to ask, who is that? And stop and take a closer look. So I think in that way, a lot of people who might not even remember who Warren G. Harding was might get to know him just because this is so impressive that they just had to stop and take a look and find out who this guy was. As always, thanks for joining me on this especially historic road trip to the past and until our next trip to the cemetery together. Thanks for sharing the memories, everybody.